unless we get really sick or unless we take antibiotics. Other than that, you never think about your gut bacteria at all. It's not a thing. In captivity, we never let these get cold so their gut bacteria doesn't die out. In the wild, a sloth, because they eat such poor quality food, their energy budget is really, really, really low. So a sloth can't even maintain its body temperature. So the daytime high in the rainforest is in the mid to upper 80s. Nighttime low is in the high 60s, and their core body temperature will follow that range of temperatures throughout the day. So a sloth's nighttime core body temperature can be 19 degrees Fahrenheit lower than it is in the day. Now, if my core body temperature went down by 19 degrees, the coroner would be using that to calculate my time of death, right? Yeah, so, but the sloth makes that range of temperatures every day. Here we just don't ever let them get cold, and their gut bacteria will last throughout their life.
Wow. Goodness.
So,
what's considered cold for a sloth though? Like,
if it gets down to 50 for an hour or 40 for 10 minutes, it'll kill it.
Oh my gosh.
But it won't die of the cold. It will die because it'll starve to death. Because if its gut bacteria dies out and it's not replenished, the sloth will be unable to digest its food. And 30 days later, with its stomach's all the way full of food, it'll die of starvation.
What interesting little creatures. Can't say the word.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They're interesting in so many ways. Like, you know, the amount of design that went into a sloth to make them be upside down animals all the time is just amazing. I mean, the more you know about animals, the less that you could honestly believe evolution is a thing. Even if you didn't believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you really couldn't get around intelligent design. So like a sloth eats the leaves at the end of the branches, right? There's no way that you could go out to the end of a branch like this and then eat the leaves. I mean, you're going head first and you're gonna fall, right? So they would have to go like this to the end of the branch, and they're upside down animals, right? Well, being an upside down animal, if we hung upside down for more than say an hour, it'd get hard to breathe, right? You get on one of those inversion tables that holds you upside down. Eventually, you're like, get me up, baby. And because you know our guts just sit in our pelvis and are upper bounded by our diaphragm. And if we turn upside down, you know, it's putting pressure on our diaphragm to the point that it'd get hard to breathe eventually.
So interesting.
The sloth is upside down all the time. Are you going to take a turn, Holden?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's move her on across. All right, baby. Did you take your pictures?
Will you, will you get your phone real quick?
Okay, yes ma'am.
Thank you.
Got to have the profile.
Professional.
Take like a selfie. I'm gonna move my hair from your little thingy.
A selfie?
Like this.
Alright, I'm gonna get her face. Alright.
So get over like here.
I'm gonna stand over this way.
Hello.
Oh, she's looking this way. There you go. Right there. That's the shot.
Aren't you the cutest YouTuber, I bet.
Look at you.
All right, Zoe. Night night, baby. Night night, sweetheart. There we go. And their relaxed state is clamped down, so she's going to have to focus to let go with her feet there. Alright. And here we go. And you're going to support her under the bottom end like that so she doesn't hold on so hard. That's it. Alright, so where was I?
He said that's a relaxed state.
I love it.
Yeah, so a sloth hangs upside down, right? So if we were hanging from this branch, a long time to do a 2-arm hang, right? If we ever took a PE class, we can remember that. The sloth can hang there for days. The reason for that is our stress or exertion state is this. Our relaxed state is that. Sloth is the opposite. This is his relaxed state. When he's hanging in that tree, he's exerting no energy at all. It is so true that he's exerting no energy to hang there that if the sloth died, he would not necessarily fall. He could continue to hang there dead for days or weeks until something rotted or until something knocked him out of the tree.
What?
Did I get right here?
The
She grips on.
other things we haven't mentioned about the sloth yet, the sloth has horrible vision. So they have a structure of their eyes called rod monochromacy, which means they have all rod cells, no cone cells, and chromatic black and white vision. So their eyes are primarily geared to pick up motion. They are a prey animal, not a predator animal. So their eyes are geared to pick up motion. Anything that's moving toward it is bad for a sloth. Get out to the end of the branch and try to stay safe, right?
Hi.
So because their sense of sight is so horrible, their sense of hearing and their sense of smell are fantastic. Did you get Mom in the picture there for the
She probably did.
No,
both
I
facing the
didn't.
same way
Smile.
right there? You got to get that
Lift
shot.
your chin up a little. Thanks.
There you go.
Like relax it a little bit.
There. Smile big.
Okay.
That's it.
You look like you're just.
So because their sense of sight is horrible, their sense of smell and their sense of hearing is wonderful. All right, see the way she's pressing her neck in there? Go. La 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 la. And she'll press her ear into your neck to experience your voice by feel. She hears very, very well, but she likes to feel the vibrations in your neck when you do that. And she likes to get snuggled right in there. She likes to feel,
And
your
when you
breath
hit
and your
certain
heartbeat.
parts of her back, she clings on more. Like
Yeah.
when I get here, her little upper arms get a little tighter. So sweet. Oh my God, look how cute. Right there.
So was your birthday today?
It was the 19th.
19th.
Yes.
It can be hard to book out here sometimes though.
Yes, we booked
I
it months ago.
January.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, this is like my lifelong dream.
When I told her about it back in January, she started crying.
It's in my truck. I'll bring them down to the U-Train
Oh
or.
my God.
Okay, and
Look
then,
at this
well, I think there's a catching course in the tack room, so I'll grab one.
He's so pretty. Is that a he?
Yes, that's Flash. Flash is 6 years old.
Because Ellie is gonna need
He's
the
so cool.
wood truck to
So-
strip the
Is he
baby
older
console.
than this one?
So this one's.
6 years, 15 months.
Oh my gosh. And you can even tell the difference in like their nail size and stuff too.
Yeah, so if you look at him, his nails are huge, her nails are tiny. She's
Yeah.
almost her full adult mass, but nowhere near her maturity. So if you look at how long his hair is,
Yeah.
her nails are like small like this. His are
Yeah.
big like
Yeah.
that. Her teeth are tiny like this. His teeth, which he's not going to open his mouth unless I feed him, but his teeth are like this big.
Oh my gosh.
And if you, sorry, 1 second.
No, you're good.
Hello.
His face. Oh, Flash.
Okay. Are you the host? Great. Stay left where the pond splits the driveway. Turn right on the first gravel drive and come all the way down to the pavilion between the two
I
barns.
It's
know.
therapeutic.
You're beautiful.
Yep, right on the
She's
first
so
gravel drive.
You're
relaxed.
so beautiful. Hello.
You're so relaxed.
Hi.
You know I'm a baby magnet.
So if you were a scientist who found the skeleton of a sloth, you would almost certainly come up with an apex predator notion of what a sloth is.
Oh my god.
Because this is a sloth skeleton. You see how big his teeth are?
Wow.
Do you hear
And you see how big his claws
Oh
are.
my gosh.
And you see that his legs are longer than his whole body.
Yeah.
His arms are longer than his whole body. His legs are longer than his arms. He's got vicious claws on all 4 feet, and he's got massive teeth. So you would
That's
almost
insane.
certainly come up with an idea that this is some sort of like a howler monkey flying through the tree and killing everything in sight.
Yeah.
You would almost certainly not come up with a
Assumed
slow, peaceful animal that's going to spend his whole life hiding from predators until one eventually gets him.
Oh my god.
And yeah, they're pretty amazing animals.
Oh, I love them. I love them so much.
Hey John, by the way, your 10:30 sloth is outside.
Okay, great.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This is.
Then she just relaxed.
Hi.
Maria, look.
So a lot of times, like, if you kind of get close to her sides, she's like, no.
Oh, she doesn't like
Yeah.
it?
She likes it just on the back, and then she always kind of gets the munchies after a while.
She,
She does.
look at this.
She's very curious. So, like, when I set her down after feeding her this morning, she was basically chasing me around. So the video I just put up on
Hello.
TikTok is her trying to get back on me.
What a great job you have.
No, seriously.
I get to wear a lot of different hats.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Social media, websites, business development, and handling animals, so it's fun.
It's a pretty good gig.
It is. I have an 8-year-old daughter, so she loves it.
Oh, wonderful.
Every single one of my coworkers has sent me y'all's live videos at one point.
Yeah.
It's like, Maria, you need to go here, you need to go here. And I'm like, oh, I'm going.
Yeah.
For my birthday.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Chattanooga.
Oh, cool. Close. Good.
Ready for you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a VIP one, so we're 10 and 10:30. So I mean 10:30 and 11. So we're gonna put her away and
Okay.
do the
I'll miss
flash
you.
next.
Okay.
It was so amazing.
All right,
to
Zoe,
meet
come here,
you.
baby. Night night.
Thanks for making my dreams come true. Oh my god.
Good girl. All right, baby. You gotta wait your turn.
Oh my goodness.
How cool. Very, very cool.
Watch him move.
It's just amazing. I learned so much.
Oh, that was incredible.
She's unhappy that she has to wait her next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Is she gonna be yelling?
She's gonna be going.
Oh my gosh.
Get my tag.
No?
Alright. So nice to meet you. Oh my
Just one more.
goodness.
Because you're cute.
When you guys come back, you should bottle feed the Highland cows or the
Oh.
baby kangaroos.
We saw your TikTok on the cows and we
Yeah.
were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. We need to do that. Like we
It's a lot of
really,
fun
Bye.
stuff.
we didn't plan ahead enough with.
We're working on actually doing llama hikes too, so then that way you guys can go on a hike off property with llama. So we got a bunch of things in the works.
If you guys had a good time, we very much appreciate
yeah,
a Google
yeah.
review.
Yeah.
Of course.
And do you do birthday parties and stuff?
We have
here
a birthday
too?
party setting up right now outside.
Let me try those again.
Can
It
I
was the
touch?
little yellow square down there when it first opened.
Do
That's
you
it.
like to be
There we go.
You can
You're
cut them
very
on the back side, yeah.
on the back side? Oh, yeah. Is that happy? Yeah, your hair's a little more coarse, but not.
Yeah.
Very
Wanna
cool.
give us a Google review, that's the thing right there.
I can do that.
We very much appreciate that.
So fun.
Took that.
So fun. Thank
Might take
you.
a minute to load.
Thank you.
Probably won't load it all inside of this barn. The Wi-Fi is,
Okay.
I mean,
Thank you so much.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You guys have a great day.
Appreciate it.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Thank you.
glad you made the trip from Nashville.
Yes.
All right, you guys ready? Come on in, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys, this is Flash. You don't have to sit in the chairs. That was for somebody else. You're welcome to sit in the chairs, but you don't have to. He's hard to reach when you're sitting down.
Yeah.
So let me show you the rules of the game here. This is food. This is not food. This you put in his mouth. This you don't. Don't stick your finger in his mouth. Don't stick your finger in my mouth. Either one of us might bite you if you stick your finger in our mouth. I'm going to show you one thing real quick here, and that is the way that this sloth moves, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. Hey, come here, Flash. Buddy. Come here. Release. Come here. Come on. Let go. You used to eat one first. Are you just teasing me? Are we getting our breakfast here? Alright, come here, Bob. Trying to show you the way a two-toed sloth moves compared to a three-toed sloth. Come here. He's like, I'm good. Hey, let go. Come here. Well, I'll show you in a minute after he gets going on. Alright, so you guys are gonna give him his breakfast. It's these two dishes. There's one for each of you. And you can take all the pictures and all the videos you want. and you guys are going to feed him his breakfast while I tell you some things about sloths that you likely don't know. So Flash is a two-toed sloth, a two-toed Linnaeus sloth. That's how he would technically be classified. But they're starting to call them two-fingered, three-fingered because it makes more sense. They all have 3 toes on the back feet. Two-fingered have 2 on the front, three-fingered have 3 on the front. The two-fingered and three-fingered sloths' spines are set up differently. So a three-fingered sloth has 9 vertebrae in their cervical spine from their skull to their shoulders. A three-fingered sloth has 3 vertebrae tail. Two-fingered sloth has only 5 vertebrae in their cervical spine and no tail. So the 4 missing from the cervical and the 3 missing from the tail are all between the hips and shoulders of the two-fingered sloth. So the two-fingered sloth can turn his body until, if this is shoulders and this is hips, until his shoulders and his hips are basically 180 apart. A three-fingered sloth will turn its head 270 around like an owl because it's got the extra vertebrae in its neck. So the two-fingered sloth is marginally bigger and somewhat quicker than a three-fingered sloth. But to describe a two-fingered sloth as quicker than anything in the mammal kingdom, you can only be talking about a three-fingered sloth. They are not track stars by any stretch of the imagination. The lost my coffee. So sloths are slow. This information everyone knows. But sloths are slow in ways that you may not realize that a sloth is slow. So they're slow not only in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, metabolism, metabolic processes. They are slow in every single way that an animal can be slow. So slow in their. Why is everybody texting me all of a sudden? Loving a photo. Great. All right, so sloths are slow in so many ways. The beginning of a sloth being slow is their diet. They eat really, really crappy food. They eat almost exclusively leaves. Leaves are primarily cellulose. Cellulose is hard to digest and of no nutritional value, so the rest of the leaf is all the nutrition it gets. They eat a tremendous amount of food. 10% of their body weight every single day.
Oh my gosh.
And yet, they go to the bathroom only 3 or 4 times in a month. So once in 7 to 10 days. They don't even tinkle between trips down the tree. They poop and pee at the same time once in a week or 10 days.
What in the world?
Yeah, right? So,
You've never had poop on anybody then?
what's that?
So you've never had to use the bathroom on anybody, I guess?
I did have a baby sloth
No
poop on me one time. And I probably shouldn't say this on live. I'm like, how many creatures can have their waste run through my clothes? But yeah, it was bad. But that was a baby sloth. But and I fell asleep and he was laying in my lap and I'm like, oh, I'm warm in the back. So yeah, that was Dash. The 3 sloths are Flash, Zoe, and Dash. Flash is 6 years old, Zoe is 15 months old, and Dash is 6 months old.
How long do they live for?
So in the wild, it's hypothetical. You know, nobody's ever observed one from birth to death of old age, and of course they don't die of old age in the wild because they're prey animals, not predator animals. They will eventually be caught by a predator and killed.
Yeah.
But they theorize in the rainforest they live about 20 years.
Huh.
If you kidnap a sloth out of the rainforest and try to put it into an environment like this, they'll live about 2 months. They'll die of stress.
Really?
And if you have a captive bred sloth like what we have here, they'll live around 50 years.
Oh, man.
Lots of prey animals live longer in captivity than they do in the wild if they're bred to it. So if they are, so our sloths here are multiple generations captive bred. Our sloths generationally are further from the rainforest than I am from the American Revolution. I mean,
Yeah.
and you couldn't take these and put them into the rainforest. They wouldn't know how to survive any better than if you took me up to the Amish place and told me I got to grow and make my own food. I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to work out for me. So So the sloths, they go to the bathroom once in a week or 10 days. When they are in the top of the tree, they are entirely safe from every kind of predator with the exception of eagles. Eagles can get to them in the top of the tree because they fly at them. The cats and large snakes can't get to him in the top of the tree because the sloth only weighs 15 pounds. He's going to go much further out the branch than a cat that can go out there to get him.
Yeah.
If the cat presses the issue to the point that the branch breaks and they both fall 80 or 100 feet to the rainforest floor, the sloth will almost certainly survive and the cat will almost certainly die. And the sloth will look over at the cat and say, ha. And back up the tree he will go. And sloth will be fine. And in all likelihood. But so still they come down the same tree, same side of the tree and poop in the exact same place that they always go.
Really?
And the reason for that is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. Now in this field of science, oftentimes when some people start to study something, they come up with some pretty stupid ideas, and then they kind of zero in on better ideas, and sometimes they get it right, and sometimes they don't. And so the first theory on why a sloth came all the way down the tree to go to the bathroom is that they are a neat animal. You know, they're not the Adrian Monk of the rainforest, that they're gonna do that, risk their life just because they're a neat animal, right?
Yeah.
So the next theory was that the sloth is fertilizing his own tree by his waste. Again, dumb idea. If he went poop from anywhere in the top of the rainforest tree, it would fall above the root system of the tree. In fertilization wise, it's the same. So it took a while to understand the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So the actual reason that the actual reason that, I'm sorry guys, I see what they want. I'm sorry, is somebody talking to me?
No, sir, that was for Cambry.
The actual reason is the sloth-moth symbiosis. So the symbiotic means beneficial to both sides of the equation, where parasitic would be beneficial to one, neutral or harmful to the other. So the nature of that symbiosis, there is a type of moth in the world called a sloth moth that lives nowhere on earth except in the fur and in the waste pile of a sloth. The sloth will have 100 to 150 moths living in his fur all the time in the rainforest, not here, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
So the benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moth. The sloth, the moss and algae that grow all in the sloth's fur, I'm sure you've seen a picture of a wild one that they're all brown and green and nasty looking. So the moss and algae in the sloth's fur is the food source for the moths. The moths, the only reason that they will live, if you just stand down here for a minute, it'll come down from one, get out of the dark corner there. And you guys are welcome to be taking all the pictures and video you want. And we are live on Facebook or TikTok or something, so if you go on our socials later, there will be a shorter version you can download if you don't feel like taking pictures right now. But if you want it on your own phone, you know, take all the pictures and video you want. So the benefit to the moth is the food source. The only reasons they will ever leave the sloth is to drink water that pools up in the leaves in the top of the rainforest and to go into the waste pile to lay their eggs. So when the sloth comes down the tree, he gets all the way down the tree and poops right on the ground, and it's going to be a massive pile. Remember, did I already say that? Okay, so
every 10 days or?
Yeah. So the sloth is eating 10% of his body weight every day, and when he goes to the bathroom, he's going to lose 1/3 of his body mass when he goes to the bathroom. So putting that to human perspective, I weigh about 180. So if I was going to eat 10% of my body weight every day, that means that I'm going into the steakhouse and saying, bring me 18 of those 16-ounce porterhouse steaks, and I'm going to plow them all down right now.
Not let him go for a week.
Say what?
So then not let him go for a week.
Yeah. And then if I was going to eliminate 1/3 of my body mass, that means I weigh 180. I'd eat and eat and eat until I hit about 240, and then bam, back to 180, losing 60 pounds in 2 or 3 minutes. So what a way to live. So when the sloth comes down and he goes to the bathroom, the moths fly down out of his fur into the waste pile. They lay their eggs, and then they get back on the sloth, or if they're old, they just die in the waste pile. And then from there, it's row, row, row your boat. So this week's eggs are next week's larvae, are next week's moths, and on and around the circle goes. So every time that he comes down the tree, there are new moths to come up onto the sloth. Benefit to the sloth is that the moths are how he gets his bacteria. The sloth digests his food primarily by a bacterial process. Now, we also have helpful gut bacteria. Our gut bacteria will last throughout our lives unless we take a lot of antibiotics or get really sick. If we do take a lot of antibiotics, then we're going to take probiotics or good Greek yogurt to fix our gut health back up, and we'll be fine. He can't get to Publix and he can't get to GNC, so Greek yogurt and probiotics are out for him. So the source of his replacement bacteria is the waste of the moths. So as the sloth grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves. That's some protein for the sloth. And he licks up a certain amount of the waste of the moths. So scary to think of, but that's how he digests his food. If the sloth's moth colony died out in the wild, the sloth would die with it. Cold weather is what kills the sloth's gut bacteria. If the sloth gets cold, it'll kill his bacteria, and a month later he'll die of starvation if he doesn't have the moth. The sloth's energy budget is so low that he cannot maintain his body temperature. So his core body temperature fluctuates by 19 degrees Fahrenheit from day to night. His core body temperature just follows the outside air temperature. He can go down 19 degrees Fahrenheit, core temperature. Now, if my core temperature went down by 19 degrees, the coroner would use that information to calculate what time I had died, right? But the sloth does that every day.
Oh my gosh.
And so the sloth moth symbiosis, he can't live without it. It's to the sloth, besides the bacteria, fertilizing the moss and algae in the sloth. And as he grooms himself into the protein that he's getting from the sloth, he's also getting a small amount of peptids and leptids, and that's good for the sloth. Other things about a sloth being slow. So we already said they move slowly, but you're going to see him go back up to his tree in a little bit, and he's quicker than you think.
Yeah.
Now online, 12 feet per minute is all that they can do, even in the trees.
Yeah.
You're going to see that when he goes back up, it's going to take him under a minute to get to the top. So that's maybe something more like 40 feet per minute. And when he comes down the tree, he goes quicker than when he goes up. Because when he comes down the tree, he's coming out for his encounters, and all of our animals actively enjoy their encounters.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look right here at the glass, all the smears are on his side of the glass. That if I'm late down here, he's rubbing his nose all in the glass, and he's beating the heck out of the door like this.
He'll get through eventually.
Yeah. And so and if a sloth is telling you, come on, let's go, you really got to check your life. But, sometimes things happen. So, and this guy's encounter was 2 years in the making, because he was not people-oriented from birth the way our other sloths were. He was bred to be in a zoo, just, behind a sheet of glass somewhere, so he wasn't oriented to people. So it took almost a year until he decided he actually preferred to eat his food from my hand than from his dish. The way that we got him to eat from our hand, which you can make an animal eat from your hand, just don't feed it. It'll eventually have to. But for him, it was just take food out of his dish that's on the other side of the wall and hold it out to him and wait for an hour or two. And if he doesn't want it, just put it back in the dish. No harm.
Yeah.
Do it if you prefer to eat from my hand than from the dish. It was another number of months before he consistently liked to eat from strangers' hands, and now his food sits in his dish all day. So he actually likes doing this.
Yeah.
And when you see the other one here in a minute, she's going to be like, like wanting to come and see us. and she is even more oriented to people than he is.
That's
So the
She was born here, wasn't she?
no,
Was she? Oh, okay.
how cool though. It's got a lot longer fur than I would have thought.
yeah. So when you see the next one, he is are about like that. His fur is about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches long.
Yeah.
Hers is about 1.5 inches.
Oh.
His teeth, if you've seen when he opens his mouth, some chompers like
Yeah.
that. She's got little tiny teeth like
How
this.
cute.
But her body mass, she's almost as big as he is at 15 months.
Really?
Nowhere near mature, but already almost full size.
Really?
And she is a cutie.
That's so cool. They have
But,
smooth noses, like really smooth noses. I would
Yeah,
think
and they're
they were
wet
like
all the time,
dogs.
like a dog's nose, yeah.
Yeah.
And so these guys are rainforest animals, so like see that hose spigot right there?
Yeah.
That goes to a misting system inside in there so that it's like a rainforest in
Gotcha.
there. So why the sloths don't need moss in captivity is we never ever let them get cold. So it's like between 77 and 80 degrees in here all of the time.
Makes sense.
And we
yeah.
only open his door to go to his outside environment if it's more than 70 degrees outside. So late this afternoon, I think he actually gets to go out.
Woo.
And let me check the weather.
Go for it.
Yeah, it looks like about 4 o'clock today he'll be able to go outside for a little bit. And he goes out when he wants to. We just leave his door open. He can go in and out as he cares. And if I stand down here, it'll come down this way.
He plays favorites.
Well, I am his person. I have been with that sloth
No, you're right.
at least an hour a day, every day for almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
I think I have missed a total of 20 days in the last 3.5 years. And
So cool.
and even though I am his person, I have never held this sloth
Really?
because he was not people oriented from birth, so he is not accustomed to it. And he'll nose to nose with me, and he'll rub his face all over my face, and he'll put his hands all in my hair. But he's never made any move to move onto my body, and that means, you know, it's not his thing. See, she has, all right, we're just gonna have to go ahead and let her come out because she's like, oh, it's my turn, come on, it's my turn, it's my turn. And so we're gonna have to go ahead and let her come out. And one of you can hold Zoe while the other one continues to get Flash's breakfast. And might need a hand getting her out, not letting him in. I don't even want to spin the camera around there because people may not understand just how very much this sloth wants to be with people.
Okay.
All right, baby. Yes, it's your turn. Okay, come here. Good girl. So you read online that sloths hate to be held, hate to be touched, hate to be petted. You see how much she hates it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So obviously she just likes it being tortured. And you guys might want to set your necklaces on the counter because if her
Oh,
claw gets
yeah.
into your necklaces, they're beautiful, but you'll break them.
Yeah,
And,
that would make sense.
She wouldn't mean to, but you know, it wouldn't make it any less broke.
She's so chubby.
All right, yeah, so if you want to sit right here. Zoe likes to be petted a very specific way.
Okay.
She likes to be petted on the backside, slow like a sloth, like that. She doesn't want you to mess with her. If you leave it on the counter, it won't ball up in your clothes, and we will remember to tell you to pick it up. So she likes to be petted slow like a sloth, like this. She doesn't want you to mess with her belly side. She doesn't want you to mess with her feet. And she might enjoy eating some of those same snacks that Flash has got right there. We transfer her on her Snuggie. This Snuggie is how she knows that she's going to see a new person. And we say to her, night, Zoe. See how she moves right across to the Snuggie? That's how she knows she's going to see a new person. And then she's going to come right to you. You support her underneath the bottom end so she doesn't hold on so tightly around your neck. And relaxed for a sloth, remember I said, is clamp down. So if she starts to clamp down on you, just, you know, loosen her foot up a little bit and she'll remember. So, anywho, Zoe also is a two-toed Linnaeus sloth. Zoe is 15 months old, Flash is 6 years old. So as I said, you can see the difference that her teeth are much, much smaller, and her claws are much, much smaller, and her hair is shorter.
She's so soft though. I expected it to be like a lot more wiry.
Looks like it'd be wiry
Yeah.
coarse, right? Yeah. People often comment that. And we find that with most of our animals, the animals mirror people. If you take a nervous, excited person, put them on a horse, you get a nervous, excited horse. With most people, people mirror sloths. When you hold a sloth, a sense of calm just sort of seems to hit you. And I gotta go latch the gate for the party guests. I'll be right back. Okay?
No problem.
She knows her eyes moving when she.
Oh yeah. So weird. Yeah, I was gonna ask about the like eyelids or like.
A lot of times they just close their eyes because they're trying to use their other senses very well. And so a lot of times they'll just let them close and they kind of like listen.
Oh, she likes you.
And when you're petting her, kind of on the side of the head, you'll probably be able to feel her ears. She doesn't like them to be messed with too much, but in relative to her size, they're the same size as ours.
I wonder like.
There you go. They are right. See that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
See,
she
she's
was
like,
like,
"Nah."
Oh wow. I thought it'd be like kind of like a bats or something where it's just like in. But no, they have like actual ears.
They see, or actually they hear really, really well. So a lot of times if people like scuff a chair or something, she'll start because that's her main sense of defense.
Oh my word. She's so little.
She's about 13 pounds and is about 15, so we're pretty sure that she might end up being bigger than Flash.
Oh man.
Which means we might need a back brace when we're carrying her around.
Yeah. Could be a little chubby.
You just turn around. So,
Yeah, just recline, I guess.
so you can't pick him up at all?
He has
Recently
never
you
been picked up by us. So this took 2 years of just feeding him at the same time. So if one day he decides to kind of climb on us, we'll see how that works out. But some places will actually remove sloth's teeth, which is horrible.
Yeah.
And we would never do that, and we'd never endorse that because it's bad. Like 10 to 13 generations.
From into there.
Oh, we just opened that door and he
He
comes right
crawls
in.
in.
Mhm.
Oh.
He's like, been rock
Yeah.
biggest lip ever. Like he just tree searching, tree climbing down here. And I was like, if he ever. But this morning she was chasing me around fast.
Surprising.
Just keep the lazy zucchini off her leg.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
That was wet. Yeah.
So sloths are actually really good swimmers too.
Really?
So when they fall to the trees or they're just trying to get to a different area, and there's been up to 40 minutes, which would be
What?
way longer than like even a dolphin, right?
Yeah.
And part of the reason I do think that that could be true is because they can slow their metabolism down to like 300 calories a day. Burn 300 calories walking upstairs.
Yeah.
So
That's what in the world?
they're pretty amazing.
It's like the rat. You know the rat's eyes. Like.
Yeah.
And you can feed Flash again because he's right above you.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think he's hungry.
That's crazy. You just got jump scared. Hey Jackson, I think you have some fans.
I think I'm on a food.
Hi.
Are you hungry? No, he just wanted to see.
Got jealous of the attention.
Sometimes he's really picky about what he eats. Like, he might not take a green bean, but then maybe he wants squash or zucchini.
Sweet potato.
Yep, sometimes sweet potato. And then if it's fruit, he'll always eat it. Can't feed him too much fruit because it activates the bacterial growth in their stomach.
Gotcha.
So you can kind of give him the boots. And so
twice a week.
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. I was holding it down here.
Yeah.
So where are you guys from?
Here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. There he goes again. You like them
He's
sweet?
so much longer
Sweet
than I
potato.
would have. I don't know.
He's so picky sometimes.
This one's not big.
No, she's got an appetite. And even after we feed her, sometimes we have to let her munch on spinach leaves. She's like, I want some to chew on. Yeah.
This way. It's over.
Did he already tell you guys about the ribs and stuff?
I don't think so, no.
So they actually have 46 ribs, probably fall from the trees once a week. And
Really?
the reason they do that is because they're reaching out trying to get like the fresh leaves, and those ends of the branches are small, or an eagle might land on it trying to get them, or a big bird. But then when they fall and they hit the ground, they don't get like that internal trauma that we do, because everything is attached. So their internal organs are attached to each other and to their ribs with a connective tissue.
Huh.
They're pretty amazing. And then that attack, or they're trying to get bit by something else, they basically have like armor.
Hi.
I think I spilled something in the cup holder a long time ago, and she
Getting
smelled
nosy.
it. Yeah. She's like, this smells so good.
No, how cute.
Wait.
Oh! Hi.
I'll take the bugs out of your hair.
Thank you.
It's the
Yeah, I
last
keep
piece of squash.
forgetting about him. So, it's gonna
Can't be picky anymore.
She's so cute. Her face is
Oh,
like kind of wide.
Oh, nice catch. Playing catch with a sloth.
Look at her eye.
I know.
And sometimes, like, instead of just regular blinking, I feel like they wink at you because they'll just do like
Yeah.
one eye and then the other.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan.
I don't think she likes the green beans. That's
Little
much.
Asian.
No.
She just kind of looks at you. I feel like she's gonna
Crazy
start
eyes.
speaking, yeah. Oh yeah, fan speak to this.
Whatever, ribs.
Let's talk about how their connective tissue goes all through. I don't think we talked about eyes yet. So their eyes have a structure called rod monochromacy, which means they have all rod cells, no cone cells, and chromatic vision. So they have only black and white vision, and their vision is horrible. So in the day, they see more poorly than they do in the night, but they always see poorly. So their eyes are to take in motion, not so much to exactly see what's there. If something's coming at them,
Yeah.
it's bad, bad, all bad. Get to the end of the branch. So since their eyesight is so poor, their smell and their hearing are excellent to make up for it. So the sloths, for better or worse, know what I smell like and they know what I sound like. And when I come in and I say, "Hey, Flash," he just comes right down. And you saw the way Zoe acts when we open her door and say, "Zoe, babe," lying right down because they like what they do. So Zoe was raised differently than Flash. Zoe was raised to be an ambassador animal. What it means to be an ambassador animal, she represents her species. So part of what we do here is try to raise awareness for sloths in general. We talk about things like not taking animals kidnapped from the rainforest. There is no reputable breeder of sloths that will sell a sloth to a private individual who's not licensed. So when you see a sloth that's for sale on the internet, you are looking at an animal that was kidnapped from the rainforest. So if you are in one of these countries that have tropical rainforests and sloths, and you're your annual average salary is less than what you can sell one sloth for, can look like a pretty good idea to steal
Yeah.
a sloth out of the rainforest and sell it as a pet. However, as the purchaser of that animal, please don't watch what we're doing here and think that it's a good idea to buy a sloth. This sloth is oriented to people from birth forward. If you buy a rainforest, it will look nothing like this. It's the difference between if you have a house cat versus a feral cat. A house cat will snuggle up in your lap and enjoy you petting it. A feral cat will try to claw your eyes out and try to get back out to the forest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please don't buy a sloth that you can find for sale on the internet. And also, if you are going to a sloth encounter, please look and see the way that they take care of their animals. All of ours here have their teeth. There are places that pull a sloth's teeth so it cannot possibly bite you. That's a horrible thing to do to an animal. And please look and see if they book their sloth all day, every day, it's just about the money. Please don't do that. It is stressful to a sloth to be held all day, every day by different strangers every 20 minutes. So ours do a total of 2 hours of encounters per day.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Flash actually only does 1 hour of encounters. Zoe and Dash do 2 hours of encounters a day, and that is it. We only do 2 people at a time. We only do 2 hours of encounters a day.
I was like, I'm hungry for the food.
Yeah. Explore other
So after she gets